week 8. Bears on a 4-game winning streak, going against a 1-5 Ravens team this week. Welcome to Bears Banter Talk Show. Let's talk about it. Better.
Down. Y'all ready? Y'all
Yeah,
ready to get it in?
yeah. We ready to get it in. It's gonna be interesting. Lamar coming back this week. I don't know if he's gonna be 100%, but 80%, 75% Lamar is better than Cooper Rush or Tyler Huntley. So we'll see how it goes. The winning streak has been good for us. We haven't seen it since 2018. The Bears team is playing, they're playing pretty well. Ben Johnson after the bye week has really stepped it up. Dennis Allen on the defense has really stepped it up. So, here we are. Here we are. At the beginning of the season, but the schedule came out. We looked at this game as like they ain't gonna win this game. They're not gonna win this game. But now, anything goes. Anything goes. So that's why you can't never look at the schedule at the beginning of the season and try to predict wins and losses.
Okay. Yeah, man, did you know what? I'm kind of excited about this. It kind of almost, I'm getting that feeling like I did with the season opener, right? Where you kind of anticipating the season started. Because I feel like even though the Ravens are 1-5, I feel like with Lamar coming back, that maybe we get a real feel of what his team is at. And as much as I wanted just Lamar to be out, I really want Lamar to play because I want us to just show what we got, and this is gonna be really challenging because we got some guys out in the secondary as well.
And it's not going. And it's one of those things where if the Bears do win this game, but Lamar don't play, they're like, "Oh, they beat the Ravens." Lamar Jackson didn't play because they beat the Ravens because he didn't. So I want to see him play, but I got some juicy nuggets for this one for real. So it's gonna be interesting.
But you thinking about a guy look like you're in deep concentration?
No, I was just thinking, that record is really not indicative of what they've been and what they could be. We got to go in there. We want to set a precedent. So far, we've been over one of these close games. We're doing great. We got to beat these guys, man. We got to beat these guys. I don't care if they 1-5 or 5-1, but we got to look at them like they 5-1 and play.
Well, I can refute what you said right now. Yeah, oh, absolutely. When you say that their record is not who they are, their record is who they are. They play 6 games. They played 6 games. In one game, they gave up 44 to the Houston Texans. They gave up 41. They gave up 41 to the Buffalo Bills. They gave up 38 to the Chiefs. And they gave up 37 to the Lions. Yeah, they are what their records show. Their defense is ranked dead last in the NFL. Now, you can say that that's not a typical Ravens team. Now, I'll buy that.
Yeah, basically.
But this team,
this team is bad.
They gave up a 44 burger to the Houston Texans at home. So, you are, like Bill Parcells said a long time ago, you are who your record say you are.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like, I want to see them go ahead and get this dub because they lose this game. It could be like Washington last year if they just let up off the brakes. I don't think they are, but by the same token, man, we really got to win this game.
And I actually don't see this as a we got to win this game. But I see it as a continue to progress.
Right, yeah.
Continue to progress win. And I'm kind of on the fence about this one, but if you can continue the process and continue to keep learning how to win, this would be a big win for the Bears on the road.
Yeah. You know what? When you look at this Bears team, you could kind of say they're not the team that played against the Vikings, and they're not the team that lost to who was it? They lost to that second game.
Detroit.
They're really not the team that played those 2 games. That team actually defensively could not stop the run at all. That team could not run the ball. That team kind of stayed in their base defense and allowed teams to kind of just run downhill. Of course, you had players missing and everything else. But after that game, when they lost to Detroit, they started dialing up pressure on defense, which have been the difference, right? And also, they've been ball hawking since that Lions game. They've been getting interceptions. And the thing about their interceptions, they haven't all been because the quarterback was under pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of it has just been them reading the quarterback well and jumping routes, which that could be more sustainable than you actually hitting the quarterback and he throwing it up for ground. When you actually just jumping a route because you actually did good game study on the guy and you know his tendencies and you just jump a ball, that is a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we've been able to dial up pressure on the quarterbacks, but most of our interceptions have came with our defensive backs playing the football. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a big thing. But a big thing, as we talked about off air, we got a lot of injuries in the secondary, man. Everybody in the secondary is injured. Everybody in the secondary is injured. No Tyreek Stevenson, no Kyler Gordon. Nashawn Wright nursing a hip injury. We already without Jalen Johnson, so it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge. But the way this team has been playing great defense breeds confidence. And that's what I saw against the Saints. Because although Caleb Williams didn't play well, the defense was playing with a lot of confidence. And with TJ Edwards back, him and Edmonds, swapping spots, because, before TJ Edwards came back, Tremaine Edmonds was playing in the middle, and you had Noel Sewell on the weak side. But now that Edwards is back, he's in the middle and Tremaine Edmonds is playing on the outside. So that's which is what's making him a little bit more valuable in his offense because the last 4 weeks, Tremaine Edmonds is finally earning his money. After 2 years, he's really earning his money. This dude got 61 tackles. He has 61 tackles
That is
in
crazy.
7 games.
Crazy work.
61 tackles. That's insane. That's
Hey,
insane.
That's dummy numbers, man.
Right.
You see my Facebook post where
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
said in the Facebook group, I said, "Are we finally ready to say the Tremaine Evans trade is working?" And if it is, something to the effect like, "Can we stop talking about Roquan?" That was
Roquan,
my
right.
post, right? I mean, 61 tackles through 6 games. You balling? Hey, what's up, Bakari? Let me give him a second. Get ready. That's balling. What you got, guy?
Nothing, man. I'm just listening to this conversation. It's kind of cool, man. Jay, man, I just missed you, man. I missed you.
Well, y'all know anytime I'm on here, I'm trying to come with the thunder, man. I'm trying to come with the thunder,
I
and
love it.
and,
Bring
and
it,
it's
man.
and to me, it's just facts. It's just facts. You can sit and be like, "Oh, they the Ravens, and we ain't this, and we ain't that." Well, yes, we are. The Ravens are who they are, and like I say, although Lamar Jackson has missed what is it, 2 games or 3 games? I,
want to
He
say
I,
played 3.5 games. I think he left. Yep.
but like I said, the guy, I'm talking about the Ravens defense. The Ravens defense is dead last in the NFL. They have 3 turnovers. They have 3 turnovers in 6 games. And the Bears lead the league in turnovers, on defense. So it's this game. This is one of them games where I'm not gonna say whoever had the ball last wins the game. It's gonna be a game where one team is gonna dominate over the other. And I think whether it be the Bears defense over the Ravens offense, and this is just stating logics, or the Bears offense over the Ravens defense, because that defense is bad, and that's something that you can't say about a John Harbaugh offense. You can't say that all the time, but they're bad.
Yeah. looking at this game with the Bears, it's something because the more I look at the game last week, I was thinking about a comment you made, Jay. Caleb actually didn't play bad. He just didn't play good.
He didn't play good. Right?
He just didn't play good. And I'm gonna take that as a positive, right? Because when I look back at it or looked at tape at him, he actually had some kills or can plays that start showing me he getting the offense a little more, right? Because you got to look at stuff like that. Is your quarterback recognizing like defense? Because it was a couple times he saw some six-man fronts and he canned the play and he went to a play that worked. Even if he might have overthrew or throw a person, well, did he throw to the right person? Right? Because you can fix the mechanical things. And I'm going to say, basically, I would just say he regressed on playing back alley football, playground football. But as far as the overall scheme of the growth, he actually did have growth last week. And one of the growths he had was it's okay for your team to win when you're not really the star, right? Because I think he was more upset that he felt he wasn't contributing more than which was making him force something, right? Kind of like, I guess, you on the basketball team, everybody hot, but you the guy. And so now you just gonna jack up some because you like, man, even the sixth man is hot. And I gotta get something.
Right.
No, your thing is the game manager first. A quarterback's job is to game manage first. You game manage you manage the game plan in front of you. And whatever unfolds, you try to implement what's happening as the game unfolds.
You know what? He played good enough to win.
Mm-hmm. They won, right?
Those are the easier things to deal with because now you can go back and reflect and look and see what you did wrong. Did you miss something? Was there miscommunication? Whatever. But it's a positive, But for them to win, and he's got the poise that he has, even he didn't play a typical Caleb game, but by the same token, we still won. That's all that matters.
And I listened to a lot of talk radio this week, and they were saying like, if the Bears win this game, it's because Caleb. This needs to be a Caleb game, and you just, you just don't look at it like that. To your point, Bernard, Caleb plays best when he plays on script. Mm-hmm. If you notice all of his incompletions, the interception, is that, like you said, that backyard football where he's just trying to make a play. It was several times, and we talked about it on the quarterback show Monday night. It was several times. He had green grass in front of him, and all he had to do was just take the yardage. Just take the yardage that's in front of you. You don't have to have the big play every play. And when and it's clicking for him, Ben is coaching that mentality out of him. But when you're having a game like that, and you Caleb Williams, you want to feel like you're contributing to the win. And technically, you are contributing to the win by not turning the football over, not taking the sacks, not making the dumb mistakes that you was making last year as a rookie. People still have to remember, this is Caleb Williams' rookie year all over again. This is his third head coach in 18 games. Or however many games it's been, so it's gonna come. But as this team plays collectively as a team and they win, that's all we can ask for in the toughest division in football.
Yeah, your team has the ability to score. You've shown all year. I mean, only time you kind of score late in the game was the Detroit game where you kind of got blew out. But since then, they've showed the ability to score. So I'm thinking they should be able to score on this team. Now, how they score is going to make a difference, right? Are they getting touchdowns? Are they getting threes, etc.? But if you could come out with a game like the last two games where you didn't really play your best as far as the passing game, but you had your two best running games, you're cooking. You're cooking because all you got to do is clean up the other stuff, clean up the penalties. You've been playing against a team that may be a little desperate They're in last place in their division with 1 win, and you got to come out and really try to put it to them early, right? Because this team is desperate. You 1-5 in a division where you're in last place. If you go down 1-6, the odds of you now running off 11 straight victories,
Right.
or 10 straight just to be 11-6. That's slim. That's slim to none. You may have some guys that at a certain point you just be like, hey, you got an injury? You got an injury? Okay.
And to think about it,
You don't have to play.
and to think about it, like I said, the Vikings lost last night, so that's a game. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot on the line for the Bears right now if they want to keep pace. If they want to keep pace, it's a lot on the line. But this is a game where going on the road, it's still going to be a challenge. Even though you're going against a 1-5 team, it's still going to be a challenge because the Ravens still got Derrick Henry, although he hasn't played really well this season after the first 2 weeks. So all of a sudden he's been caught fumbleitis. He can't hold on to the football. He can't hold on to the football for some reason. But I mean, Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry. I mean, let's not mistake ourselves. So we can't go into MTB Stadium thinking like this team gonna lay down for us. We still gotta come to play.
Yeah. What you got, guy?
Yeah, I do believe that if they do what they're supposed to do, and Baltimore keeps that same energy, we should be really nice. But by the same token, the reason why we're stressing this game is right now, who are you? We're 4-2, whatever. Who are you right now? Winning this game, like you say, on the road will be a huge game for their psyche. I say it's a key, it's a star moment where you can put the little asterisk there to look back later. If and how they win this game might determine the rest of their season. I mean, and I'm thinking that they will win, but by the same token, how they win, keeping their poise, it goes a long way.
Yeah,
And to that, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bernard.
Well, I was gonna say when you look at the strategy that they could in this game, the Ravens have a hard time defending the tight end, and this game sets up nice for Loveland or Command.
All the chatter that's been going on with the tight ends.
Yep. And I'm gonna say this because I want to embrace the team that's in front of us. I hope they have a breakout game. Man, I hope they have a breakout game, both of them, because they would be lighting up Roquan Smith. That's who will be trying to stick them.
Yeah.
But
and
I'd love to see us just click on all cylinders. I think we are. I mean, to me, it felt like we're right there, and we're getting 25 points a game, and we're not. You know what I'm saying, with the mistakes and all that, man. I think we overdue for this 40-point game.
We are the only team in the NFL this year has scored over 21 points in a game.
Every game.
The only team in every game, 21 or more. So when was the last time we could say that about a Bears offense? But to go back to what Guy said, this game on the road, because just think about it. They on the road again next week in Cincinnati, which is another AFC North foe. So to stack these wins, and then they come, now I'm getting ahead, but then they come home and they play the New York Giants. So, you can look at the schedule in May when it came out and was like, oh my God, this is brutal. But it don't look that way no more. And if the Bears can just continue to make these incremental steps, which is what I've been seeing all year. We lost the first game to Minnesota, a game that we should have won. We was up by 12 points in the fourth quarter. Everybody know that story. We got blew out. We got blew out in Detroit, but then we stacked 4 wins in a row, which included shutting down our high-powered Dallas offense, because you can see what they've been doing over the last couple of weeks, and now they got CD Lamb back. They blowing the doors off people right now. So right now, this is the meat of the schedule that if we can stack a few more wins and then come up to that Minnesota game, because we got that Minnesota, then we got Cleveland mixed in there. We got the Packers 2 times in 3 weeks. So this is the part of the schedule where if you're gonna stay right, you need to stay right in this area because once these NFC North games come up, the Eagles sprinkled in there. So we got a lot going on at the back end of the schedule, which is why the back came at a really good time because they were able to fix the run game and Dennis Johnson was able to dial up some stuff on defense and we got healthy. So this is the time for them to stack some wins.
Yeah,
Mm.
I agree, man.
I'm happy with the improvement of the running game and man, some of these blocking schemes, man, I'm very impressed on some of the blocking schemes. I mean, they got centers pulling out, going out on the edge, getting guys. I mean, they got guards coming from the other side, getting out in space, taking out corners and safeties. Man, it's beautiful, man, to see that work and progress. And the amazing thing about it is we have not said anything negative about DeAndre Swift in like 2 or 3 games now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he's making us feel
Mm-hmm.
like we got Matt
Mm-hmm.
Forte back again, right? A
Mm-hmm.
guy who
Mm-hmm.
could
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, really get out in space, catch the ball and run the ball, man. I'm proud of whatever the changes he had to do. He said he haven't changed nothing. You have, brother. You changed something.
Well,
I
I,
watched
I
running
don't,
back religiously, and I
I
think
don't,
you run a little more patient. You run a little bit more patient, and he's following his blocks a little bit more.
but that's the key. I was gonna say he hasn't changed anything. He actually just see holes now. That's
Right,
all.
right.
He actually just seeing holes right now. But Ben Johnson is doing a good job of scheming people open. Last week, and if y'all want to go back and look at it, I saw it in real time. They kept running a formation where they had the tight end Smythe, number 81. He would line up wide and he would motion and then set still at the line of scrimmage. And they would run the football. They would run the football. They ran this play at least 8 times. And they just kept doing it. And they just kept doing it. And then he schemed him open and Caleb missed him.
Mm.
He did the same thing. He lined up wide, he motioned, he got set at the line of scrimmage, and instead of blocking, he ran a wheel route. And it was so open, and Caleb missed it. So you have a coach that's going to continue to marry plays together. Like, I'm going to give y'all this look. I'm going to give y'all this look. I'm going to give y'all this look. And then I'm going to sneak him out the back. I'm going to sneak him on a wheel route. And nobody's going to pay attention to him because every time he motioned back in and sat on the line of scrimmage, he was blocking. Caleb missed it. And I was at the game. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's how you run an offense. That's how you run a passing offense. So it's still baby steps, and this thing is just being birthed. It's being birthed, and if they finally get it together, this could be really some. It can be something special, man.
Hey, guys, Shannon dropped a comment out there about the red zone. Did you want to address it? He said the red zone
Yep,
offensive problem. Hey, God, I mean, do you have any suggestions on how they can improve in the red zone? But you can't keep taking field goals all the time.
yep.
Just got to believe, man. It's like you're gonna run the play. But you just got to believe those teams that are really efficient. Let's see, red zone offensive problem. Yeah, it is. But it's like I said, you have to believe. You just can't go up there and run a play. You got to go up with the play and say it's going to work, and everybody knows it. Can't make stupid mistakes like an offensive, holding offense or whatever. Stupid penalties in red zone. They have to be more efficient. Just got to take their time. This guy, man, Ben Johnson's done some pretty impressive stuff at getting guys open, blocking schemes and stuff. And I'm starting to really, really study him more. And I can tell you right now, with what we have, with the confidence that, like I told you, I saw that last preseason game against Kansas City when they knew in their minds they were going to win. This could be a totally different thing, man. It really could. But in the red zone itself, man, like I said, we just have the penalties is what kills us.
4 for
Roughly,
13.
Yeah, run play. Run the ball. And I know Bernard would like somebody to run the ball the whole game and throw one pass and be efficient and score. But it's true. You run the ball, you can effectively run the ball. You can get any pass you want, or they can't stop you from running. You just got to stop the penalties. When we line up, we have to line up in our minds and knowing that it's gonna work.
Yeah, hey, guy, I agree with everything you said. You got to have confidence in whatever you do down there, and you got to eliminate. For some reason, they get tense in the red zone because they always seem to have some kind of false start. They had some snap issues in this game. You could go back to last year. They had some fumbles right in the red zone. Those set you back on your momentum because you even wherever you're at in the red zone, you want to keep having positive plays. So if it is one of those deals where you saying this is we on first and on the 4-yard line, first and goal, okay, you may say, hey, this is 4 possessions, we getting this. What make you change your mind is when you have a penalty and now you're 2nd and 15, right? Then now you say, okay, you know what? We now okay at the 3rd, we now we on the 8-yard line or something. Okay, let's just go and bring the field goal unit because why? You don't really have momentum. So I agree with you guys. He's got to believe in whatever they're doing, but I do think this is where you're gonna have to bring in, like Jay say, this is maybe where your Luther come in. This is maybe where Rome has to have that jump ball. Komet maybe had to body somebody up, right? DJ maybe he did look, DJ is a beast when you put the ball in his hands. So
Put the ball in his hands, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But Shannon, 4 for 13 in the red zone the last 2 games. That's not gonna cut it. But this is how I look at it. And I don't want everybody to, look at it like I do. The Bears are not used to being in the red zone. If you think
Right.
about it, if you think about it, a lot of the Bears touchdowns come from 30 in. They not used to being in that and I know people say the red zone is, the 20-yard line. But to me, in the NFL, the red zone is really like 1st and 10 on the
me
left.
too, really. Yeah.
1st and 10, 1st and goal on the 9. To me, that's the red zone because now you got the defenders that's got the end zone that's back in, that's behind them. So now they playing a little bit closer. But I do agree, we have to be better in the red zone because we got, I think, 3 turnovers. We got 4 turnovers last week. We got 10 points. We got 10 points off of 4 turnovers. We scored 1 touchdown and we scored 1 field goal. But those turnovers was on the plus side of the field. And when you get those turnovers on the plus side of the field, you have to put the ball in the end zone. But I just want to say that the Bears not really used to being in the red zone. So, just like learning how to win, you gotta learn how to score and when you're in the red zone.
Besides
Besides the Cowboys game, we didn't do shit in the red zone, and they've been winning off luck. No,
I
Shannon.
would say they went
Okay,
off
come on,
luck.
Shannon.
Yeah,
It's not luck.
I would say it ain't luck.
It's not luck. When you want to put luck up against statistics, statistics are always going to win versus luck. So it ain't been lucky. Now, have the teams that we play, you can only play who's in front of you. The Bears just said, "Ooh, we're gonna schedule the Saints on our schedule because they bad, so we're gonna beat them." You know, the Cowboys, nobody predicted the Bears would beat the Cowboys. We hung 34 points on the Cowboys. And they one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL. So it's not luck. Shannon, I don't know if you're a Bears fan, but we don't run with luck on this on this show. We don't run with luck. You know, I call it like just being efficient and being able with a competent coach knowing what he's doing. Because a couple of games, the Las Vegas game, I was sitting in my living room like, call timeout. No, Bill Johnson like, nope, nope, nope. I got 3 timeouts in my pocket, and this clock gonna run, and I'm gonna call them when I need to call them, and that's exactly what he did. So it's not
Yeah,
luck. It's competency. It's competency right now.
And you know what?
because if you
At the
look
end
at
of the games, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bernard.
oh, okay, yeah, I'm just be quick, guy. Like some people may think view Luck as, for example, the blocked field goal in the game. That was actually good scouting. They were actually scouted out what the kicker was, not the kicker, what the
The center was doing.
what the
The long
center was
snapper was
doing.
doing.
Correct. What the long snap was doing, they were doing that. I know he mentioned the Jaden Daniels thing, but the thing is with Jaden Daniels was you was actually forcing a bad game. He really had a bad game. I know people don't want to admit he had a bad game. He had a bad game, not because he was having a bad game. He had a bad game because the Bears put him in a position of a bad game. He started the game off in a red zone interception. He even though he ran for a few, he never felt comfortable in that game. When you really go back and look at the game, he wasn't really all that comfortable. He said the Geno picks that even though you won by one, actually, if you look at those games, those teams were lucky the Bears did not blow them out. That's really what the luck was at, because when you get that many turnovers in games, if they had converted those into touchdowns, like even the game last week, they was winning 20-0. They could have been up 28-0 in that game.
And not to mention, I'm sorry, but not to mention, Shannon. Not to mention, Shannon. How many years over the last couple of years that we were on that side of the game? You know, how many times were we on that side where Caleb had 3 picks or Justin Fields had 3 picks and we lost the game? How many times were we on the side where we were going for the game winning field goal and somebody blocked it? We finally was on the side where we were up and they were going for a game winning field goal and we blocked it. So don't call it luck. Don't call it luck. And if you want to call it luck, then that's fine. I'm okay with you calling it luck. But as a Bears fan, I have to look at the mindset like we won that Vegas game. How many times we was on this on the side of that? The Jaden Daniels fumble, if you want to keep talking about that. Doug Kramer with an incompetent offensive coordinator. We going in against Washington in the failed Mary game, and he gives the football to a lineman who fumbled the football.
On the 1 yard
line.
line.
On the 1 yard line. So I want to use that to the equivalent as Jaden Daniels fumbling the snap, trying to be so cute and happy and smiling and like he the next coming of Joe Montana. So, bruh, but it's okay. It's okay. If you want to call it luck, we can call it luck. I just call it the Bears are finally finding a way to win football games. And like I say, we can win 10-6 every game, and I'm satisfied. People can say, oh, they missed the field goal. It's luck. Well, you can say what you want to. 10-6, that's a W. And I'll take a W all day long. No matter how it comes, I will take it.
I'll put it here. I'm just going to say it, just make it easy. When you believe, the universe usually gives you what you want. And the truth of the matter is right now with this squad that we got, and I keep going back to that Kansas City preseason game. Y'all know I've been talking about this since it happened. Y'all was like, we just won a game. I said, look at the mentality. Look in their minds per player. I looked at them dudes. It wasn't the dude that walked off that field that didn't believe that anytime they walk in a game like that, that they couldn't win it. It's a difference between let's run the plays and try to get this to, oh, we're going to get this. One band, one sound. You know, their mentality, you know.
And that's what it
even
is.
when they run the ball, it looks different. It looks structured, like the lanes.
They build in a winning culture. They build in a winning culture.
Exactly. And they believe.
And they starting to believe, like, hey, with this guy, with Ben Johnson, we can actually win. And that's the mentality that I'm seeing. You know, anytime you got a player, I say, I look forward to coming to practice because Ben Johnson is my head coach. That says a lot. When was the last time you heard a Bears player talk about? Ain't nobody said that about Eberflus. Ain't nobody said that. Like, ooh, Matt Eberflus is my coach. I cannot wait to get to practice.
Yeah,
it's building also, the culture, man.
Joe, I want to also mention last week, even when you watched that game, I know I mentioned earlier about 6-man front, but there's actually times too, the running game has also improved on another way. teams are moving out, and they're like daring the Bears to run because they're starting to feel more threatened by Caleb's ability to hit deep balls, right? If you think about the first two games, he was missing those deep throws. Now he's hitting those 25, 30 yarders, 45. They got the other one. I know it's a short pass, but Swift taking it in. So those all become, and one thing about when you win games at the last minute, it also plays confidence in the team that win the game. And it start making the other teams who scouting you start saying, man, that game ain't over with them until that.
It ain't over till it's over.
It ain't over till it's over, right? Because they start feeling that, right? And that becomes part of what sometimes people feel another team chokes. Because the other team does start feeling that because they're like, man, I know they're gonna hit that throw, man. I mean, think about how many times Mahomes got in a situation, or like a Tom Brady got a situation, and teams like, man, we left too much time, man. We
left too much time on the clock.
Man, we scored, man. Leave that dude 45 seconds, man. Damn, man, he still may win. So that becomes confidence too. And I like the way Caleb has said he looking at plays, and he's like, man, it could work. And I was laughing at Ben Johnson because Jen Johnson is calling some plays and said, oh, man, this is a good play right here, right? And he's telling his team that, right? He's telling Caleb, this is a good play right here, right? And he's hearing that, and if it works, he's like, man, that is a good play, right? So that's one of the things I'm proud to see the Bears doing, man, because we know we done seen some awful Bears offenses our whole life. It's been a whole life thing for us.
When you see post game, when you see post game, you look at them in there. If you don't know football, you come to the TV, you'll know that Ben Johnson was a coach. Mm-hmm. Eberflus, Nagy, they just look like some of the team dudes. Hey, y'all, let's kick it, whatever. He just seems like an adult in the room, man. But he's got that relationship with the players. The players respect it. To me, and I've been saying this for a while too, you got a lot of these cats that's making a lot of money out here now thinking, if I don't do my job, I will get benched. Really have that mentality. So now guys are really starting to buy and they're playing for each other. But I love what I see though.
Yeah, it's just a thing where, you can see week by week the confidence is growing.
Yep.
And I don't know if it'll take a devastating loss for them to lose their confidence. But if they lose against the Ravens, 31-28, is that going to break their confidence? No, it's not. Because they learning how to win. Win is a win. However, I believe Ben Johnson is going to have this running on all cylinders come Sunday. Bear down, Leo. You're exactly right.
Leo, yeah, thanks for the comment. We got another comment.
I just love his intensity, man. Caleb showed last year that he balls out when the game is on the line. Absolutely. He had them in position to win about 3 more games, if not for the coaches and the defense last year. Absolutely, Leon. Thank you for your comment. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I don't have no question. Ben want Caleb at 70% completion and Caleb at 61. Yeah, but it's still only week 8. It's still only week 8. The bottom line is Caleb had a bad game last week. And we saying a bad game considering we've seen him play better. Right. So it's not like, oh, he was just absolutely atrocious. He didn't play up to standard from the last couple of games that we had saw him play. So, and Shannon, the season is still early. Right now, he's still on pace to be the quarterback. The Ravens have given up. I don't know why I got so much information tonight, y'all. Because I've really been studying this game. Like, oh my God, the Ravens have given up 108.6 quarterback rating this year against to opposing quarterbacks. So Caleb can get right. He can get right, but are we looking for him to get right? Of course we are. But are we looking to sustain the momentum that we going with this winning streak. And that's how I look at it. So, people
Yeah,
can look at it differently. That's how I look at it.
It's a progression.
yeah,
It's a progression. I
It's
mean,
a
every
progression.
game has its own different nuances. You know what I'm saying? But from our standpoint, our culture should always be now. Just every game we go into, we can win that game. Like I said, if they lose, I think if they lose 31-28, oh, they're gonna be pissed off. Is it going to affect them in the long term? I don't think so. But
I
if
don't think
they
so.
got blown out, it'd be different. What I would really like the Bears to do is put it on these dudes. To just basically just to tell the league, hey, you know what? We was the whipping boys. We on the doorstep. So we'll see what happens. I know it seems like a medial thing, but mentally, like some saying, hey, so we can get Roquan out of our system. Just Baltimore being a team, good, bad, or indifferent, they still are a team that had a great record last year. But
Well, it
what
was
we
it
do,
was in Super, and they were in Super Bowl talk this year.
yeah, and we
I mean,
play. We were,
they supposed to be one of the top teams in the AFC.
yeah,
So,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just want to address the 70%. That's a good goal to have. Now, the is it realistic? Yeah, but it's not the backbreaker, because a lot of times when you have quarterbacks in reality that's completing 70% of their passes, they're probably just taking a lot of check downs. I
hmm
mean,
yep,
that's just the real truth. Where you need to be is somewhere between 65, 68. That's the progress that you
right.
want. But what you're going to have to give on this year is you're going to sacrifice some completions for not taking sacks.
Yep.
See, and that's the trade-off. So one sense, if we don't want the sacks, that means we got to live with some throwaways, because that's part of the product, right? Because if you sometimes when you're under pressure, you're gonna have to throw it away. And sometimes you have quarterbacks that don't want to have the throwaways because they're worried about the percentage. But we actually did see some struggle from Theo Benedict in the last game.
Yes, we did. Yes,
We
we
saw some
did.
struggles for him. We actually saw him give up pressure. So some of the inaccuracy, erratic throws was because Theo Benedict didn't play well. And I want to say, and I know it's a small sample size, but through 2 games, I think 2 games he started, his passing PFF grades is around like 47.9. I'm going off the top of my head, so if anybody got the real number, correct me. And his run blocking is in the 50s. That's not really where you want to be at, but it's still early. You're hoping that he get the improvement, but I would still say it looks better than it did when Braxton Jones in there. But Braxton Jones actually was graded out higher as a pass protector, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Which and you also have to look at it too. The running game has thrived on that right side.
Mm-hmm.
That right side, they have really thrived on that right side. Brick by brick, I believe the run game will flourish against the Ravens D. Let's unleash Monangai and build a
Mm-hmm.
dual threat running game. I hear you, Ant. I hear
Mm-hmm.
you. I hear you, Ant. But
Brick by brick.
Ben Johnson has really decided that he's going to make sure this be a balanced offense. And so far, so good. It's been balanced. It's been balanced. And when Caleb is not on his square, the running game has picked it up, and that's been a good thing in this 4 game winning streak.
And just think if he balls out to Sunday. If he balls out Sunday, we might be looking at him at 63%. You know, it's like he said, it's still early. And you also got to think of the scheme of things. We haven't even started none of our divisional stuff where it totally changes. Now your percentage is going to go much higher because you're running the ball more. It's more of a busted lunch bucket and some Tams and rusty knuckles. You know what I mean?
But this
Yeah.
is the big week, though. But this is the big week because you got Green Bay playing the Steelers in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh on Sunday night. I'm like, ooh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big week. This is a
Oh,
big week. This is a big
Okay.
week.
Two for
Detroit
two.
is Detroit,
Two
and,
for
and,
two.
and I was telling one of my
Two for
coworkers,
two.
you know,
2 for 2.
Detroit.
Two.
Sorry, Jay.
If you, what I don't want to happen is Detroit to get, and I'm talking down the line to get home field advantage. because you're not going to beat Detroit in Detroit. You, you're just not. And I don't know how Washington did it last year, but this year you're not going to beat Detroit in Detroit. So we need to make sure that they don't have home field advantage. And we talking down the line with playoffs. And I'm just talking about as a Bears fan, I don't want to see them with home field advantage because they are very, very hard to beat at home. That Monday night game last week or a few days ago, that was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I'm like, oh my God. It was like it was like a playoff atmosphere for week 7. I'm just like, what is going on in Detroit? And they came out and they did what they did. But Detroit is a very good team. I have to give it to them. I underestimated them because I felt like, we kind of teased them week 1. It was like their offense was struggling. I'm like, their offensive coordinator had us all. But man, Johnny Morton has did wonders with that offense in Detroit.
Yep. Hey, let's jump to 2-2 before we get to the
2 for 2.
prediction.
2 for 2? Yeah.
When guys
2
here,
for 2.
guys here, and when guys not here,
2
he's
for
still
2.
here with 2 for 2.
That's what's
Hey,
up.
let's start off with 2 for 2. I had wrote some notes for my 2 for 2. For those who are new in the show, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Share the program with other people. If you're on Facebook, jump on over to YouTube and watch us on YouTube. And tonight we're on Twitch TV. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're on Twitch TV. 2 for 2 is when we pick the best 2 teams in this particular week and the worst 2 teams, in this particular week or this time of the season. I'm going to start it off. My bottom 2 is Tennessee Titans and the lowly Jets. My top 2 is, man, I guess Green must be dominating this, is the Eagles and the Colts.
Wow.
Reach it, right, Jay?
Yes. No, you're not reaching
Hey, the
because
Colts are 6-1. I can't argue it. They 6-1.
that ain't even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your bottom 2 because I had two total different teams until you named your team. I'm like, oh damn, I forgot.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say the Saints and the Texans. Not even thinking about Aaron Glenn Poe thing. And I know head coach Daw's hard to come back, man. They so hard to come back. But man, the Jets are terrible.
That was horrible.
The Jets. So my bottom two is going to be the Jets and the Miami Dolphins, who are in the same division, and are probably 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. As I watched the score last week, seeing how the Browns was dominating the Dolphins, I told my buddy Ed, I was like, Mike McDaniel is going to get fired after this game. And for him to still have his job in Miami is mind-blowing. So those are going to be my 2 worst teams. My 2 best teams. I have to give it to Indianapolis as much as I don't want to. I'm gonna say Indianapolis, and I think I'm gonna side with the Chiefs this week.
Okay.
Mm.
I still got to go with the Chiefs.
What you have, guy?
My bottom 1 has got to be the Jets.
He's by himself.
Your quarterback got a minus 10 yards passing.
It's sad, man.
It's the Jets,
it's
man.
sad.
I'm not
It's
going to even
sad.
get another one on it. It's the Jets. They both. So
The Jets and the Jets
that's
2.0.
my 2 for 2 in the back worst. In the best, I got to go with the Colts, and I got to go with the Patriots.
Okay.
The Patriots
Patriots are playing good football, man.
The
I know they
Patriots
really
are
played
first place.
nobody, but they're playing good football.
The Patriots are in first place in the AFC East.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all I can say. You talking about the Patriots in Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets. The Patriots are in first place in the AFC East, where everybody picked
Buffalo.
Buffalo. So, and like you just said, like people say, well, they ain't played nobody. Well, that's how the NFL is. You can go
That's
from
not
worst
their
to
fault.
first. You can go from worst to first because you playing that last place schedule, and now you done built your team up, and the teams that was supposed to be building their team up hasn't done that yet. So those are the games that you win. You win the
Mhm.
games that you're supposed to win when you got a last place schedule. That's how you benefit for being worst to first in the NFL. But the Patriots are
Mhm.
playing some good football. They are playing some good football.
Right. Hey, let's get to the game of the week before we move over to our prediction. Jay, you actually mentioned my game of the week, which is the Packers and
The
Steelers.
Packers and the Steelers, baby.
And
Sunday night.
yeah,
Let's get it cracking.
and you know what? And my interest in this is because I want to see the Packers lose. Because when we win and the Packers lose and the Vikings just lost, that put us right there.
Uh-huh.
That put us
Uh-huh.
right there behind Detroit because
Uh-huh.
the Packers got that draw.
Yep. They got their
They got
time.
that
Yep.
draw.
Yep. Yep. But that's my game of the week as well.
Yours
I
game
heard,
okay.
yeah, I heard Aaron Rodgers this week with his narcissistic self talking about, oh, this ain't no revenge game for me. Yes,
Right.
it is. Yes, it is. And I
Uh-uh.
think, and I think that he's gonna pull this one out. But that's my game of the week. Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Sunday night football. That's my game of the week.
Mhm.
My game of the week is Dallas and Denver. Is Denver really as good as 5-2, and is Dallas really ready to come back and try to make a comeback?
Hmm.
Obviously it's the Green Bay game, but that's a given. Y'all already had it anyway, and I was gonna say that at first, but then I actually looked at this game, see what Dallas is about. Are they gonna come off this game with a dub and show that they back, or is Denver gonna go ahead and prove that they're 6-2?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Now let's come down to the moment of truth of how we think the Bears could win this and who you predict to win, right? What are your scores, etc. I think the Bears can win this game by sticking with the running game, being able to stop the run, cut down the penalties, play good defense, and force Lamar Jackson to either work that hamstring where he want to go back and go sit on the sideline, and think about it where they might just say, hey, we bet, this is a short week. We really, y'all playing again Thursday, so we don't want to risk Lamar because the Bears are hitting them a little bit too much. I like that. That's the way you can win this game. So y'all got any ways y'all say we can win this before we get to the predictions?
Let's go back to what my man said. Red zone efficiency. If we gonna pound the ball, which I would like to see it, because if they're giving up 32 points a game, and we can effectively run the ball, we're gonna get to the red zone. I'd like to see them be perfect in the red zone in this game. And if they are, or even come close to it, I think it's gonna be a blowout.
Well, I just think in order for the Bears to win this game this week, we have to be efficient
Mm-hmm.
in the red zone, and our special teams got to make a play. Some
Right.
kind of way. Our special teams got to make a play, and I'm not talking about in the kicking. I'm
Right.
talking about in the return game.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Duvernay.
Juveniles.
Thank you, a former Raven, two-time Pro Bowler over there. You going back to Baltimore. Let's see if you can make some magic in the return game. But not only with the return game, our defense has to continue to be dominant in the run game. They gave up 44 yards rushing to Alvin Kamara last week. We got King Henry this week, who has not played his best football this year. So those are the keys to winning this game for me.
Okay. What we have this
You said
game
it,
is on the
this game on the
offense.
offense. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hearing. This game is on offense.
Yeah.
This game is on offense.
Yeah, you gotta go out and win games. That's why sometimes when you talk about, like for example, what happened in the Jets going on this year is, other than this being a bad franchise, Your quarterback
Yeah.
does have to. I don't mean he has to throw a touchdown. I think this is what sometimes people are mistaken. The quarterback does not have to throw the touchdown. He just has to be part of the drive to get you to the touchdown. You could get to the 1 yard line and end up running, and he doesn't have a passing touchdown on his stat, but he might have been
He
responsible
contributed for you getting there.
contributed to those drives constantly. So I agree, just be efficient. So I agree, Shannon. We got to capitalize on that red zone. What we won't have in this game, we won't have Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson is out for the game, even though he only had 1 carry. He's hurt again. We're gonna be missing some guys. We're gonna be missing. Who else is out? Kyler Gordon is out
Kyler
for the
Gordon
game.
is out. Tyree Stevenson is out.
Tyree Stevenson is out.
It looked like Santos is not playing. Braxton Jones is out. We got 5 players that's already been determined out. We got a couple of questionable people, which 9 times out of 10 they're gonna play. DeAndre Swift, he's been questionable since week 2, so he's gonna play. He's gonna play, but everybody else was full participants. The passing, the secondary is gonna be key for us this week on defense because, Nason Wright, although the teams have picked on him, but he has responded big time, and I give him big kudos for his play. But they struggling to field some defensive backs right now, and I don't know with Roschon out this week. I don't know if they're gonna elevate Britton Brown from the practice squad, which I think that would be a nice change of pace. I think if they did that, I don't know if he plays special teams, but it would be good to see him get lathered up with a couple of plays because he hasn't played since preseason, but he did show some promise in those games. So it's gonna be interesting to see how, with all the injuries that the Bears have, how they gonna fill the 53-man roster Sunday.
Okay. I'm ready. Y'all ready to get the scores?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, and with that said,
hey, you want me to go first, Jay? Guy, you want to go first?
No,
I got my score.
no, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is for Dr. Quick Alton, the referee, who's out there holding on somebody tonight. Don't go into witness protection. But I'm actually picking the Ravens. I'm actually picking the Ravens to win this game 34-31.
Okay, Jay got him. 34 to what? 31?
31, yep.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go, man. I had my wins and losses, and I've been sticking with them until the last 2 games. And I said this is not the Bears team that I thought we was going to have this season. With that said, I don't think Lamar Jackson missed those many games and come back and be hot. And I think their defense really sucked. I think regardless of what the gambling odds say, I have the Bears winning this game 29-18.
I love it. Y'all know me. I love when I'm wrong. I'm
going 28-24 Bears.
28-24? Okay.
I am. I think that they could get this game, man, because let's give it. Derrick Henry gets whatever yards he wants. You can't just go. You got to try to neutralize him as best as you can, if that's even a possibility. But what you need to do is be efficient. Run the ball, give the ball to Kyle, and just get out the way, and then give it to Swift, man. You have another guy going up the middle. You got Swift doing what he do, man. Beat him up a little bit. So 28-24, Bears.
Okay, we got it. So going through the season, Jay and I tied up, and Plank, Dr. Quick, and Gal all tied up. Hey, Shannon, I saw a comment, and hey, what should they have traded? I mean, you just say, is it offense, defense, or you saying they should have traded for a corner? Hey, hit us with it before we shut down for the night. I just want to see what your opinion on what position they should have traded for.
And Shannon, also give us a prediction for the game.
Oh yeah, give your prediction
if you don't mind. Give us a prediction, Shannon.
Yep, you,
Mike,
Leon,
if you still out there, Leon, if y'all still out there, give us a prediction. Yeah,
Leo. right? All y'all out there, Mike Day, all y'all Bakari, come on, give me predictions before we get on out of here. So, as you watch these games are becoming more and more unpredictable. This is probably like the most unpredictable season that I think since we started this show, because we actually, even if we picked them to lose, we actually see a path that I do, at least a path that they can win games because you're actually scoring. To me, I don't really rely on those when the defense got to keep a team to 12 points, 13, and that's how you win because you don't turn it over. You run the ball well, and they only get 13 points, and you beat them 14-13. That's not sustainable to me. When your offense, because the league is built around you being able to score. So even with the Bears struggling in the red zone, they still managing to get 24 and 25 points without the defense actually, going across they ain't took no pick six. They haven't took a fumble and took it all. They had one pick six, and that was the first game of the season. That's it. So whatever happened, the offense.
They scoring points on offense.
They
Scoring points on offense, which is something that we not used to seeing. We're not used to seeing an offense score points. And it's a lot of meat left on the bone because, like I say, 4-13 in the red zone the last two games. That's a lot of meat left on the bone. But they are actually scoring points on offense, and that's good. The only team, like I said, the only team in the NFL this year. The only team in the NFL this year that's actually scored over 24 points in every game. Okay, Anthony.
Okay.
27-23. We got you. All right. Thanks for your score. Hey, Leo, what we got from you? We got Leo 31-24. Okay, man. We got a couple of those.
Okay, we got some believers out here.
Yeah, we got Michelle. Hey, thanks, Michelle. Michelle, what she saying?
That's my brother predicting the Bears gonna win 24-12. That's my sister-in-law. Hey, sister-in-law.
Oh, your sister-in-law. Okay.
Yeah.
She's close to me, right? I have like a double-digit win.
Yeah. Okay.
Go back to that comment that Shannon made. We're asking, what do we think that we should have traded for?
Let me see. Right. Oh, okay. Right here.
No, it's like right after that. He gave an answer.
He
did he? Okay, I missed it.
Bears should have made a trade.
Oh, there we go.
Bears should have traded for a pass rusher. I don't trust Montez Sweat like that. Yeah, Shannon, but guess what? The pass rushers that we need, we can't afford.
Yeah.
We can't afford them. We cannot go back into cap purgatory. We can't afford them. And I know, now it seems like it may be like Trey Hendrickson might be on the block. Max Crosby said he don't want to leave Vegas, so he's off. But Trey Hendrickson is the only person that I would have liked to trade it for. But can we take on that contract? I think the Bears could, because if I'm not mistaken, his contract is just a bump in salary this year, and they don't owe him nothing next year.
Yep.
So, but right now, it's twofold because the trade deadline is coming up, but we still haven't seen Austin Booker yet. So let's see what that looked like. Dominique Robinson, for the last couple of weeks, he's been trying to get after it a little bit. And when your team produced 4 sacks and 4 turnovers in the game, it makes you think it makes you less likely to think about, okay, we need to make some moves, we need to sign somebody. So I understand, because like I said, this season, the Bears to me came in. Hey, little sister. The Bears came in this year. The Bears came in this year needing the same thing we left with last year, which was a running back. Ain't nobody talking about we need a running back no more, because I think Monangai and Swift was in the running back room like, oh, what they talking about? No, we don't need no running backs. And now we got turnovers in the secondary, and we got, Theo Benedict. We need a left tackle. He like, no. We might need one in the future, but I'm gonna man this position right now. So, you have to let the season evolve, and you just can't get ahead of yourself, because that's how you do learn that's how you do wind up in cap purgatory when you make decisions that's don't need to be made at this time.
And from a
You know what?
numerical
I'm not
standpoint, you have
against it.
gradually progressed, though, don't you? You know, because
Yes.
when we're looking at it now, we do have the capital, but weighing the capital against the product, are we willing to spend that money? That's
Right.
something that Shannon said. He said, "I'd love if they go for Chase Young. He cheap." In a sense, you have to hold on to that money because uh,
Did you see Chase Young play last week, Shannon?
no, I didn't.
I said Shannon. Did you see Chase Young play last week? I'd love if they go for Chase Young. Did you see Chase Young play last week for the Saints? I'll
You know
pass.
what? You know what? This I'm not against.
I'll pass.
I'm not against if you got a Trey Henderson, but I would say if you was to do that deal, the Bears have to move one of those defensive end because there's only so much money you could
You
tie up
can't.
into.
Yes.
You can't have
Absolutely.
all that much money and Sweat. And what's the other guy's name? I always forget his name. Dobby or whatever his name is. You can't have that much money in him. Then you just got Booker, and he's in his second year, and he looked like he might be promising. You'll have to at least move one of them. Now, Chase, the thing I have with Chase is I'm really not interested in reuniting him with Montez Sweat. And I think Chase to me, getting Chase will be one of the things that have plagued Pose. Getting a guy that not quite there. And I think Chase is a guy that people have questioned his work ethics.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically have reason he's been a guy. Well, he's about on his fourth team now.
And Chase Young has not had a really good season outside of his rookie year.
This is his rookie year.
He hasn't really, Ohio State product. I love him, but he ain't really had no. Saints will let him go for a third or fourth round. See, I'm not trading no third or fourth
I'm not
rounder
trading.
for.
Yeah, not for Chase.
Not for Chase Young. Oh no.
I can see if it's something eye popping, but don't get me wrong, it's a process. At this particular point of the season, what 6 games in or so? I mean, 7 games we're in. You got to look at we got 10 more games. Is it cost efficient for us to go ahead and get somebody like that and spend all this money, knowing next year we still trying to go levels? Or do we just hold on to it, get what we got? Some of it has been because of attrition. It's been because players are hurt. It's not that we don't have the players. It's just the quality of players that other people think. But these guys haven't had a chance to come in. Who knows? Within the scheme of what we do, what they do may work. And then now you saving money as opposed to going to break the bank with this guy and knowing that you'll have free agents coming up. You have a nucleus of a squad that you want to retain,
And I don't know when
the truth is, you have to look at the future of this, and we're gonna wrap up in a few seconds. You got to look at the future contracts that are coming up. The future contract, I believe, for example, Darnell Wright is going to be at the 5th-year option at the end of this season, right? Because it'd be the end of his 3rd year. So the Bears will have to decide, right? Are they going to pick up the option, or they're going to franchise tag him, or not do nothing and risk losing them after that? Then the following year, you're going to be on this situation with Caleb and Roma Dunze. Correct. They both were first-round picks, 1-9 and 1 number 1. So you're about to face some escalating contracts soon. Yeah. So you don't want to have to all of a sudden build momentum on this team and then bring somebody in with a big cap, and you load it up so much at one position that now all of a sudden you start losing linemen because you can't retain the linemen because you didn't sunk so much into defensive ends, tight ends, right? Because right now, the following year, then it'll be Loveland, right? I mean, this is how the thing works. That's how it works when you start having too many picks that's early on like that. You got that 5th-year option.
And we got a lot of money tied up on the defensive line because, like you said, you got Sweat. Grady Jarrett, who has not contributed at all, is making a lot of money this year and next year. And then you got Abadanjo.
That's his name.
He's making some money. So I just think Bears fans need to relax. We can stand pat right now. Now, if we wind up reeling off another 2 or 3 wins before the trade deadline, and it's something out there that we can possibly get, then we might think about, okay, let's see what we can get to fill this hole, fill this hole. I'm looking more at the secondary than anything right now because our guys in the secondary just can't stay healthy.
Yeah. Hey, Jay, can you address the question about Anthony Jackson?
Do you guys think we're using the tight ends in the passing game enough? I believe that the key to unlocking the deep. No, we're not using the tight ends as well as we should, but it's because earlier on in the season, and I know we only 7 games in, week 7 or week 8, excuse me. We needed the tight ends to be more of blocking tight ends than pass catching tight ends. But I think Ben is gonna unlock that sooner or later because we ain't, we already got a problem with spreading the ball around. We got too many weapons on offense. At least, and for me to say that, that's saying a lot. Because we still, Luther Burton, I still say Luther Burton is probably the second best wide receiver on this team. And I hate to say that because guess what? You talk about Roma Duz, we talk about Roma Dulce, excuse me. We talk about Roma Dulce, DJ Moore, Zacchaeus, and Luther Burton. I still think Luther Burton is the second best wide receiver on this team. And he has not even been unleashed yet. It's a lot of football left to be played, y'all. And we just need to, what Bears fans need to do, me included, is calm down and embrace what we're going through right now because we haven't seen this since 2018. And the thing about this is better than what we saw in 2018 with Matt Nagy.
Right, because they seemed lucky. They did seem lucky. If we want to say it for a sense,
so we just need to calm down and ride the wave. Loveland and Komet, they gonna contribute. But if you look at the film right now, Loveland, Komet, and Smythe is real. If people look at his game, he's real underrated.
Yeah.
These tight ends are doing what we need them to do right now. And I know as Bears fans, you spend a number 10 pick on a tight end, that's not what you want to hear because you see Tyler Warren in Indianapolis and he got 40 catches and all these touchdowns and yardage and all that. That don't concern us. Keep your eyes on your own paper. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay.
Okay. Hey, if you got anything, guy, before we close out for the night, man, because, man, hey, it's starting to get.
I was like, we can talk all night.
Right.
We can talk all night at this point.
Man, for sure. I'm excited about this game, man. I just think, to me, I'm hoping this is the Bears coming out party in the style of which they win. I like to see it go real nice. That would set a precedent for us, man. Make a lot of folks happy. I love the way the offense flows. Like I said, the plays look like they're supposed to work. They really look like it. Now you don't have that trepidation when they run the ball. You like, okay, now we encourage them to run the ball more. But especially when they run his zone defenses, and I notice if the Bears run play action, they got Komet and Loveland wide open, just sitting. So we have so many weapons, but, that'll be something that'll come to the fore when we start really playing within a division. We'll see it.
Okay. Hey, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Hey, see
you
you about
guys.
30 minutes after the post-game show. And like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button and share this show with your friends. We just picked up another 10 more subscribers. We picked up a few tonight. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you guys for subscribing.
We'd like to get up to 800 before the season is over. Until next time, peace.